Okay, let's start today's deep dive. We're looking at some really quite shocking news that hit the entertainment world recently. The sudden passing of Shefali Jariwala.
Tragic news.
Absolutely. Many of you will know her, of course, as the Kaanta Laga Girl from way back in 2002. That video was iconic.
It really was. Hard to forget.
And she was in Mujhse Shaadi Karogi, Nach Baliye, Bigg Boss 13, a really familiar face. So the news has been, well, just deeply shocking for a lot of people. Our goal today is to really get into the sources, cut through some of the noise, and pull out the key facts about what happened.
Right. So the central event, the undeniable fact, is that Shefali Jariwala passed away. She was 42. It happened on the night of June 27th.
So young.
Very. And the immediate cause reported right away was a sudden cardiac arrest.
Okay.
Her husband, Parag Tyagi, he rushed her to Bellevue Multi-Specialty Hospital. But sadly, she was declared dead on arrival. That was at 11:15 p.m.
Just awful. That's a lot right there. But here's where it gets really interesting, maybe complex is the word. Initial reports say cardiac arrest, but it sounds like there's more the police are looking into. What kind of factors are we talking about here?
Well, exactly. It's not quite as straightforward as just a sudden cardiac event in isolation. What the investigation seems to be revealing, according to our sources, is a much more intricate picture.
Okay.
Initial reports mention the cardiac arrest, yes, but also things like low blood pressure and gastric complications.
Gastric. Okay, so stomach issues, potentially.
Potentially, yes. And there's a team of doctors now actively looking into whether other factors might have contributed. Things like epilepsy, apparently. She had a history of epilepsy.
Right, a pre-existing condition.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And they're also considering, self-medication or even possibly food poisoning.
Wow, okay. So epilepsy, self-medication, food poisoning, that's quite a range.
It is. It really highlights how different health issues can sort of interconnect or pile up.
So it's potentially several things converging. Did the police find anything else, maybe at her home, that adds to this complexity?
They did, actually. The police findings at her home included, anti-aging injections.
Anti-aging injections.
Yes. And also common acidity pills and glutathione.
Glutathione. What exactly is that used for?
Well, it's an antioxidant. Some people take it as a supplement, sometimes for skin brightening or other health reasons. Its presence, along with the injections, is certainly something doctors would, factor into their assessment.
Okay, so injections, pills, and glutathione. Anything else about the context of that day?
Yes, there's more context. Apparently, she had been fasting that day for a religious ceremony, a puja.
Fasting, okay. That can put stress on the body.
He can. And sources also say she reportedly took an injection in the afternoon.
An injection while fasting?
That seems to be the report. So investigators will definitely be looking at that combination, the fasting, this unconfirmed injection, alongside her other symptoms and her known condition, the epilepsy.
It's quite a mix of factors. But it's interesting, despite all this, the low blood pressure, the gastric stuff, the substances found, the fasting reports also say the police are leaning towards a natural death.
Right.
What does that usually mean at this stage, especially with so many variables?
Well, it suggests that based on their initial observations at the scene, they haven't found immediate, obvious signs of foul play.
Like injuries or a disturbance.
Exactly. No external injuries reported, no signs of a struggle. So their current thinking of natural death is really a preliminary assessment. It's based on the absence of clear criminal evidence right now.
Got it. Preliminary.
Very much so. And that's precisely why they're waiting for the official post-mortem results. Those are due around June 30th.
Okay.
That detailed medical exam is crucial. It should help clarify the exact cause of death and how or if all these different factors played a role together.
This whole investigation, it just paints such a complex and frankly tragic picture. It makes you think about the wider implications, too. Obviously, it's a huge loss for the entertainment industry, losing someone so bright and, bold. But what broader lessons maybe can we take away from a situation like this where it's so sudden and multifaceted?
It's a really powerful reminder, isn't it? A tragic one, but powerful. It shows that health isn't always simple.
Yeah.
Our deep dive into these sources really underscores how interconnected everything in the body is. Seemingly unrelated things like epilepsy, fasting, maybe using certain injections or supplements that can potentially all contribute, sort of cumulatively, to a sudden crisis you just don't see coming.
So what does this all mean for you listening? Well, this really complex situation, with all these health factors and choices being looked into, it just highlights how fast things can change, how unexpectedly a serious health crisis can happen. It leaves us thinking about those intricate connections, doesn't it, between all the different parts of our well-being, things that might seem separate. It kind of urges us to remember that health is often this complex web, not just one single thread.